Today, I'm going to share with you everything you need to know to quickly set up this steam humidifier. Special thanks to Y&O for sending this to me so I can be prepared for the upcoming fall and winter months because it tends to get really dry where I'm from. So let's go ahead and open this box up. And by the way, this humidifier is good to cover up to 1,000 square feet. So I'm going to have this set up in our TV room, which opens straight into our kitchen. As you can see, this humidifier is extremely well packaged. Right away, I see there's an instruction manual which contains an overview of the humidifier, and of course, it includes the instructions on how to assemble it. I like how it has pictures and arrows, and in the how to use section, all the instructions are numbered. So I'm going to put the instruction manual down and we'll get to the humidifier. Looks like the humidifier is wedged inside the box with some big foam pieces to protect it. And I'll just pull off this plastic bag as well. So I'm also going to put the phone down again for a second so I can lift the humidifier out because it's sitting on top of a very large foam piece. So inside the unit, there looks to be two big tanks, and inside one of them is where they put the power cord. The power cord is enclosed in a plastic bag, so we're going to go ahead and take it out so we can plug it into the wall. Now let's take a quick look at the top cover. There are four open slits around this circle where the steam will come out. And there's a square lever which I think you can use to lift the top off. There's also a label on the cover indicating that the mist will release at a high temperature, and there's also a reminder to clean the humidifier regularly. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove this top cover, and inside there are two tanks, each with a handle. Each tank has a filter at the bottom. They're taped down, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape. And here's what the filter looks like. This will need to be cleaned regularly. For each of the tanks, there's an indicator as to how far you can fill the tank, but you'll need to lift the handle up to be able to see the max indicator. And each tank has a 5-liter capacity. And when we remove each of the tanks, you can actually access the gasket. I believe this is how the steam is fed through. So now we are somewhat familiar with the inner workings. Let's go ahead and fill these tanks with water. I like how they have handles so I can simply bring them to the sink and fill them up with water. And by the way, I'm just using regular cold tap water. And here I'm just checking to make sure the water level has not exceeded the max limit. It looks like it's right below the max indicator, so we're good. I'll return this tank to the humidifier, and notice that as soon as the tank is placed inside, the water level begins to lower. That's normal as the water is getting released into the humidifier so it can heat it up. I'll go ahead and grab the second tank and fill that up with water as well. Okay, so with both tanks back in, we'll replace the top cover and then we can power on the humidifier. And as soon as I hit that power button, the LED display lights up. And by the way, there are a few buttons on the panel that will help configure your humidifier settings. The far left button allows you to set the timer to either 1 hour, 2 hours, or 4 hours. The next is the mode button, so you can set the level of humidity to either low, medium, or high. The button in the middle is the power button, and then to the right we have a percent button to auto-select a preset humidity level either at 50, 60, or 70%. And the last button to the right allows you to lock in your settings. So we've had the humidifier on for only a minute or so, and just for demonstration purposes, I'll use this piece of paper just to show you how gentle the mist is that is coming out of the steam vents. The steam is warm to the touch, and as the water inside the humidifier heats up further, the steam will also get a little hotter and mistier, which will then help to humidify the space. And one other important thing to know is that you should place your humidifier at least a foot away from the wall and a foot away from any other pieces of furniture that you may have. This humidifier is just a little 1.5 feet tall and measures 13.4 inches across, so it really doesn't take up much more room than a side table would. And I love how quiet this humidifier is as well.